Hello, I am Mishu Yanokita. I am a member of the curriculum committee for the Academy for Lifelong Learning. Welcome to our Zoom preview introducing our November instructors. First up will be Marilyn, who is the facilitator for K's of ISLAC. Her course starts on November 13th, celebrating Beethoven's 250th anniversary with the Sonata Opus 57. I spoke with Kay on Zoom recently, and I noticed two baby grand pianos in the background. She explained to me that for her students' social distancing, she bought another baby grand piano so that she can sit at one and her student can sit at the next one. I think that that shows how dedicated and thoughtful she is for her piano students. Marilyn?
And this year, musicians from around the world, from the great symphony orchestras to Schroeder of the Peanuts comic strip on his tiny toy piano, are celebrating the 250th anniversary of the birth of one of Western music's greatest composers, Ludwig van Beethoven. With the pandemic changing the form of many of these events, our local pianist, K's of ISLAC, will present an online lecture and recital to celebrate Beethoven's birthday. Class participants will learn about the structure, compositional techniques, and special characteristics of Beethoven's Sonata Opus 57. Kay will discuss, demonstrate, and highlight unique elements that make this piece so powerful and emotionally stirring. The course concludes with the performance of this sonata in its complete form by the instructor from her home. Kay enjoys her multifaceted career as a performer, teacher, adjudicator, and clinician. She's also given solo recitals and chamber concerts regionally, nationally, and overseas. Before moving to Bellingham in 2013, Kay was an assistant professor of piano at the University of Idaho, Lionel Hampton School of Music, and is currently on the faculty at Western Washington University's Department of Music. ALL members have given Kay's previous classes rave reviews, citing her energy, enthusiasm, and teaching ability, as well as her magnificent performance on the piano. She consistently leaves her audience requesting more.
Thank you, Marilyn. I would like to introduce Donald Antenin. His course is going to be Political Philosophy, Ancient and Early Modern. It will start on November 14th. When I asked Donald for something personal to include in our introduction, he responded back to me, I live in Bellingham with my wife and 2 daughters and 3,000 books. And I guess I shouldn't be surprised by that since he is a scholar of Greek, Latin, and biblical Hebrew. The students who took his seminar last fall enjoyed the thoughtful discourse very much. Donald.
We often talk about politics, and in this seminar, we're not going to talk about politics, but what might lurk or lie beyond politics. The philosophers Plato, Aristotle, Thomas Hobbes, and Immanuel Kant, and in reading political philosophy from the ancient past and the recent past, I think we'll discover something about ourselves and realize that some of the contemporary conversations might not be so contemporary. So in these courses, there's no reading that needs to be done ahead of time. We'll read together short passages and have a conversation and try as best we can, even if we can't be together face to face, to continue the conversation that's been happening for more than 2,000 years about the nature of political power and what it means to be a human, and how we can discover the truth. So I hope you'll join me in exploring Plato and Aristotle and Hobbes and Kant. You need not have any background in philosophy at all, just a willingness to think and to converse.
Thank you, Donald. Let me introduce Lena Zain. Her course is The Golden Age of Islam, which starts on November 17th. Lena came to Western Washington University in 1982 and retired in 2013 as Professor Emeritus. She is very active in the Western Washington Retirement Association. And as retired, this is going to be her third course that she is teaching for ALL. As a lifelong learner herself, she invited me to a Zoom presentation in London that had over 250 participants, which we both enjoyed very much. Lena? Lena, you're muted.
Hello, everybody. I have 3 stories to tell you. One of the brightest stars in the constellation Orion is called Betelgeuse, or Betelgeuse. The star is on the arm of the warrior Orion. It is from Arabic, like many of the most common star names. Well, maybe yes, maybe no. There is no such word in Arabic as Betelgeuse. It turns out that the name of the star was Yad al-Jawza, which means the arm of the warrior. And the fellow who was translating the name of all these stars mixed up the Arabic letters Y and B because they differ by 1 dot. So the Y has 2 dots and B has 1 dot. As it turns out, by misreading the Y for a B, he renamed the whole star from Yad al-Jawza to Betelgeuse. This error happened sometime between 850, the Common Era, in Baghdad. Here's another story. This is from the fall of 2019. A Pittsburgh-based research firm put this question to some 3,200 Americans in a poll, seemingly about mathematics. And the question was, should Americans, as part of their school curriculum, learn Arabic numerals? The outcome was a measure of the students' attitudes towards Arab world. And what do you think was the answer? Listen to this. 56% of the respondents said no. 15% had no opinion. So we can conclude that 71% did not seem to know what Arabic numerals were. So these results quickly inspired more than 2,400 implicitly negative tweets. So what are Arabic numerals? Where do they come from? How did they get to us? And finally, I have another story for you. This is a story of a young man who was in a hospital in Cordoba, in Spain. And this young man, this is around 900, wrote a letter to his father who was in Paris. And this is the letter that he wrote his dad. He said, "My dear father, you have mentioned in your previous letter that you would send me some money to make use of it in my medicine costs. I say I don't need it at all, as treatment in this Islamic hospital is for free. This hospital gives a new suit and 5 dinars to every patient who has already got well, lest he should find himself obliged to work in the period of rest and recuperation. Dear father, if you'd like to visit me, you will find me in the surgery department. Next to my room, you will find a library and a hall where doctors meet. The gynecology department lies on the other side of the hospital court. Men are not allowed to enter it. On another side, there is a large hall for those who recovered, where they can spend a period of rest. Dear father, any place in this hospital is extremely clean. Beds and pillows are covered with fine Damascus white cloth. All the rooms in this hospital are supplied with piped clean water. Not only that, but also every room is equipped with a heating stove. As to food, chicken and vegetables are always served to the extent that some patients do not want to leave the hospital because of their love and desire for tasty food. So, if you want to know more about the scientific innovations, technology, and other developments in the golden age of Islam, these are all the scientific developments that spurred the eventual Renaissance in Europe. Please feel free to sign up for the class. We will be covering a background, the building of Baghdad. Then we'll talk about medicine, physicians, and hospitals. Then we'll talk about mathematics, optics, astronomy. And finally, we will talk about Andalusia and how the knowledge came from Baghdad to Spain and eventually triggered the Renaissance. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Lena. You can enroll in any of our courses by clicking on the Register Here link or going to the ALL website. You can also contact me to join any of our interest groups at no charge and no registration is necessary. On the first Mondays of every month, the Contemporary Readings discussion group meets. This month, the book is The End of the Myth: From the Frontier of the Border Wall in the Mind of America. Our history discussion group also meets on the first Mondays, and they will continue their focus on US history. This month, the subject will be the New Republic from 1800 to 1860. Our World Affairs discussion group, now in its 5th year, will begin our global conversations via Zoom. Now, as fall is upon us and you are taking a break from your travels and your camping, join us for ALL courses as ALL endeavors to stay connected with each other through our learning community. Thank you.